Hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you, on my opinion, the most essential exercise for the right hand. But before showing you, I would like to make a little introduction. So in my daily warm-up practice routine, I have the idea, I believe, that we have to train every day 3 parts of our arms, which are our wrist, our pinky muscles, as I call them. Mostly they are here, but also there. And then index and thumb muscles, they are here, as well there. And I'm gonna make videos later with other exercise for the thumb, pinky, a bit later, but today I would like to make an exercise for the wrist. And in my experience with all teachers I had, very often I've been told, like, Maxim, use more your wrist, here please more wrist, but nobody explained me what does it mean, like using your wrist. And then, I don't know, after some time, I finally realized what it's all about. And just for you to know where we need the wrist. Let's say when you change the strings, of course you know that we have to change the elbow position, arm position on each string. But beside that, we have also wrist motion. So when you change the strings, you can do, yeah, you can just drop your elbow, yes, but there is another way. When you drop your wrist, and then the elbow follows already the new position of the wrist. And it gives more smoother change of the strings, you know, this nice, smooth sound, and also better control. Then, for example, when you have things like, yeah, it also needs your wrist, because some people, they get tense because they try to use their arm or forearm like that, and then they get tense because it's too many motions instead of just the wrist. And of course you have to get used to it, so it has to be trained to be able to do this kind of things. And then also very important part with the wrist is that it helps us also to navigate our bow on different strings. So let's say when we stay on the A string, it's not only about the elbow position, but it's also about the wrist position. And I'm gonna say that on the A string, we have just normal straight wrist. But then when we go to the D string, I call it close my wrist, so I bend it. On the G more, and on the C, the biggest, yeah? Of course, then when you come at the tip, you open it. But then you have to come back to this close position. And then I would say that it's the most uncomfortable place to play, you know, the C string, because of that wrist motion. And when I started to work on my wrist, playing the exercise, then I felt, you know, like how much I should work, you know, just to keep that bow. Because you could have seen that some people, when they play fifth or some double stops on the low strings, for a long time they get tired and their bow goes in that direction, because wrist can't bear it anymore, and it gets exhausted and tired, and therefore it goes like that, and then you have a wrong bow angle. So what you need is just to close your wrist, and it should be strong enough to resist. And the last thing I would say about the wrist is that it gives a really better control and feeling over the strings, which means that for you, different strings, it's not just different elbow position, yeah? Because with the elbow position, it might be different. Sometimes we have elbow on the low string, like C string, but we play on the G, you know, because afterwards we will come back anyway to the C, yeah, for example. So in that case, it doesn't work every time. But with the wrist, once you taught your hand, your wrist, that, for example, on A is like this, T like this, then wrist knows and feels, and it can already kind of predict the next position, and you feel, okay, I have to close that much. And then it gives super nice clarity and clear sound when you have some string closing, because you have that control. Yeah. Okay, so let's finish with the introduction, and I'm gonna show you that exercise. So what you have to do is just to put your bow at the tip of the G string, yeah? And we are gonna play G and D strings. We start up bow, yeah, with a good connection, maybe not so close to the bridge, because otherwise it will be very hard for you. And then the most important thing is that you don't use your forearm by doing this. You shouldn't. Yeah? You lock your elbow, forearm, and what you have to do is just to move your wrist like that. And the very important thing here is that we do not raise up our wrist, because this is the very uncomfortable motion for our hand, and it's super exhausting, and you really can't do it so well. I mean, actually, of course, it's possible to train it to make it better, but there is no comparison with going down. Yeah? Therefore, what is important is that we take at the beginning D string elbow position, so it should be slightly higher than you would probably like to do. Otherwise, if you have with a low elbow and you start to play, you will have to raise it up, and it's uncomfortable. So we have at the beginning higher position of the wrist. So our start point is dropped wrist, and we have two positions: dropped wrist and normal. And there are, I would say, two exercises depending on your level. So if you never have played Piazzi Caprice, first one, then you can play open strings. Yeah? And if you know the Piazzi Caprice, or you feel like that it's not such a big deal for you to play it slowly, I would say just first page, then take it, take it, because it's kind of more fun than just playing open strings. Anyway, so, and then control your wrist. And what is important, that you have to exaggerate your motion. So you don't want to play too fast, because then you can't really control it. So keep the nice connection, nice quality of sound, and very slow speed. Like this, yeah? And you don't have to play too fast. And you don't have to play it very long. So it's, I would say, from 2 up to 3 minutes, depends how your wrist is prepared for that exercise. But I would just recommend to rely on your wrist, and once you feel slightly tired here, then maybe you can stop. Yeah, I do it every day, and I'm gonna be honest with you. After playing for 1.5 years every day, like for, let's say, 10 minutes every day, because I have not been playing only that exercise, but besides that I was playing some Freya exercises also for the wrist, and every day for 10 up to 15 minutes, only after 1.5 years I just started to feel my wrist, so it really takes very much time, but it takes time. It takes so much until you feel it, but definitely you will get the result after, I don't know, a few weeks. So but this is really super essential, you really have to do it, because then it gets more flexible, it gets more solid, strong, and you get control. Yeah? That you also feel different position of each string. But very important at the tip. Yeah, you don't want to come here. Just at the tip. Okay guys, that's it, and I would like to encourage you to leave the comments below about any questions you have or some misunderstanding you have after my lesson, let's call it like this, or some of your ideas for the next videos you would like to hear about. Just leave the comment below. Okay, so see you in the next videos. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.